certain adjectives can't be used in comparative and superlative degrees. So that means there are certain adjectives we can use them only in the positive degree. We can use them only in positive degree. We cannot use them in comparative and superlative degrees. See, for example, the presentation was perfect. So the perfect is perfectly fine. Like, so it's correct. But if you say your presentation was more perfect. So now more is a comparative degree. We don't need a comparative degree because we can't use these things in the comparative degree. His presentation was the most perfect. Now we don't need the most, only perfect is fine because the most is superlative, and we know that we cannot use it in the comparative and the superlative degree format, right? So both of them, the B and C, are incorrect because they have used the superlative and the comparative degrees, whereas this word perfect can be used only in the positive degree, right? Next slide. Let's move ahead to the next slide. Now the list of some adjectives which can be used only in these positive degrees are like supreme, impossible, absolute, ideal, everlasting, eternal, triangular, square, round, major, minor, complete, entire, chief, extreme, excellent, minor, universal, unique, last and final. These are some of the examples which can be used only in positive degree. We can't use them in the comparative or superlative degree. See the example. Darjeeling tea is the most superior tea in India. Now here the most is making the word superior as the superlative degree. And we already know that we cannot use these words in the comparative and the superlative degree. Only the positive degree superior is fine, right? Superior itself means the highest form. So we don't need any comparative or the superlative degree for that. The correct version will be the Darjeeling tea is superior to any other tea grown in India. Let's move ahead to the next slide. Now, if two adjectives are used for the same noun or a pronoun, then the adjective should be in the same degree. You cannot have one adjective in the superlative degree and the another one is in the positive degree. You have to use both of them either in the positive or in a superlative or a comparative degree. Both the adjectives should be in the same degree. We cannot have the mixture of two different degrees of adjective for one noun or a pronoun. Let's see the example. India is the greatest and tolerant country. Now the greatest is our superlative degree and tolerant is positive degree. How can we have the mixture of the degrees for adjective, one superlative, one positive? Now to decide which degree is correct, whether we have to use the positive or the superlative degree, look at the sentence. Is there any comparison happening? And we observe that no comparison is happening over here. So since there is no comparison, we are just showing the characteristics of a country, India, right? So that's why the positive degree will be correct. So we'll say India is a great and tolerant country. So great and tolerant both are in the positive degree, so they are correct. Now there are certain examples like which are used for directions, and there are some other adjectives also which are used only in the positive and the superlative degree. There is no comparative degree for these adjectives. There is no, basically you remember one thing, for direction no comparative degree. Either they will be in the positive form or in a superlative form degree only. Fine. Say for example north, it's a positive degree. The superlative form will be northernmost. Up, positive degree. Uppermost is the superlative. Bottom, positive. Bottommost is the superlative degree. So better to memorize them, keep going through, remember the directions, right? Can be used only in positive and superlative degree. Let's move ahead to the next slide. Now the adjectives can be like, you should know that we are learning the grammar in the form of functional grammar. When we talk about functional grammar, we are looking forward to see what exactly a word is functioning as in context to a sentence. So a noun can also function as adjective. So which is why we say in one sentence a word can be adjective, whereas in the another sentence the same word can act as the function as a noun also, right? So but there are certain words that are mostly used as noun. If they are used as an adjective in the sentence, they can't be used in the plural form. Let's see the example. The table's cloth was washed, ironed and spread on the table. Now here tables is the plural form, right? But it is used as the adjective. Now we can't use the tables over here, which is wrong. We have to use only the table cloth because this table is used as adjective, so we can't use the plural form of it. Clear? Let's move ahead to the next slide. Now there is one special rule for the words like prefer and preferable. Only for this prefer and preferable this rule number 13 is, right? So we know that they can be used in the comparative degree only. The prefer and preferable can be used only in the comparative degree. And with the word prefer and preferable, we can use only the preposition to. We cannot use then over there. Then is wrong, right? Either we can use to or we can use rather than. These are the two things which are acceptable. If you use this third one, which is only then, this is completely wrong. We cannot use then, we use to. If you have used then it has to be rather than, right? See the example, I prefer walking to running. So when you are saying something is better than your preference is to running rather than walking. So that I prefer walking rather than running. So both of them, either you use to or you can replace to with the rather than. Clear? Let's move ahead to the next slide. There are some adjectives which if you use the before them, they will become the plural common noun. If they are adjectives only, but you add the, then it will be plural common noun. And then since if they are plural common noun, we have to use the plural form of the verb. Like see, if you say rich, poor, right, educated, these are all the pure adjectives. But these are all adjectives. Now if you say the rich or you say the poor or you say the educated, then all of them are the plural common noun. So if they are plural common noun and they are functioning as the nouns, right, subjects, then what kind of the verb will be there? Obviously the plural verb will be there because plural subject, plural verb. Subject verb agreement has to be there, right? See the example, the rich people feel the law can be turned and twisted. Now who feel? The rich people feel. The rich over here is the plural common noun. So we have used the plural form of the verb feel, right? So if you can remove the word, how it can function? See the people, the rich is telling something more about people, so you'll see it's adjective. But how this can act as a plural common noun? You remove the people. You remove people and you just say the rich feel the law can be turned and twisted. Now feel is the verb, who feel? The rich feel. So that time the rich is a plural common noun and it is the feel. That means we are talking about all the rich people, right? So in this sentence, the first one, the rich is acting as adjective. In the second sentence here, the word rich is acting as the plural common noun. Clear? So we know that adjectives can function as nouns also, and the nouns can function as adjectives. Let's see the examples. The blind are demanding reservations in the job. So here the blind are talking about all the blind people, right? So it's a community of the blinds, which is the plural subject over here. So it's a plural common noun. That's why are is the plural form of the verb which is used. The rich are getting richer day by day. So the rich is again the plural common noun, and are getting is the plural form of the verb. The injured were in the thousands. So the injured is the subject, it's the plural common noun, and were is the plural form of the helping verb. Millions join the ranks of the unemployed worldwide every year. So the unemployed is the object of preposition, and it is the common noun, it's a plural common noun. Right? There are no plans to provide cheap housing for the homeless. For the homeless is a prepositional phrase. Again, the homeless is the object of preposition.
Press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.